So this is the first class of our 60-day boot camp here at KW Lansing. Something brand new that we just started. This class is going to be lead generation and database management. Okay. For those of you who don't know, I am Brooks Warner. I've been at KW for 10 years. I've been in real estate for 12 years. This year I am on the ALC and I am the chair of the growth committee. Have previously been chair of the technology committee. I am the rainmaker of Mitten Home Team, one of the mega groups here at KW Lansing. We are housed at the west office location. If you do not know, that is my cell phone number and email address. If you come up with any questions out of this class, feel free to reach out. Our commitment to being part of this group is that we're not just teaching the classes, we're here to be a resource for all of you guys. Okay, so that's from Rejection Proof is the name of the book. If you are like me and you had a fear of rejection and it was uncomfortable when people told you no, I highly encourage you to read the book. He did that for 100 days and some of them were pretty funny, and it's just a great book. I would love to hear any takeaways that you guys have from his quick little speech about his 100 days of rejection. Anything that really stood out? Yeah.
It didn't take very long before he kind of desensitized himself to it.
Yeah.
To ask why.
To ask why. It was pretty. Once he figured it out, it was pretty easy for him to turn no's into a lot of yeses, and he asked for some really ridiculous things. So, things that you guys are going to ask for are not as ridiculous as asking a burger refill or whatever. So.
He actually got a referral too.
And you got a referral. Let's see, what do we got next? Okay. This slide is almost what I would consider the key to real estate or any sales job for that matter. Your goal is to get as many people to know you, like you, and trust you as possible. People will do business with the people that they know, like, and trust, period. Now trust, I have a couple of side pieces at the bottom there. They have to trust you as a person, which is probably where most of you are starting because you don't have trust in the real estate world with your people yet because you're new and they don't know that you are going to be a great real estate agent. So know, like, and trust is the name of the game in real estate. Gary Keller, if you read MREA, it will tell you that for basically every 12 people that know, like, and trust you as a real estate professional that you communicate with on a regular basis will get you 2 pieces of business. That book was written from research that was done in the late 90s or into the 2000. They have redone the research, updated a little bit. It's more like 1 to 10. So for every 10 people, technology kind of came along and cut down on the relationship piece of it a little bit. So it's not quite the ratio that it used to be. That being said, the people who are getting 1 to 10 have a very, very thorough communication plan with the people who know, like, and trust them, which we're going to talk a little bit about today. And also the reality is you're not going to have it all tomorrow. You have to build this over time. So we're going to start with who the people are, and then we're going to start adding touches so you can convert at a higher and higher level as you work here. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? What was that?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So the thing that I like to use as an example, I don't use real estate because we're all in real estate, but if a good friend of yours, someone who I would refer to as a top 100 person of you, called you and said, hey, I just got my insurance license. I'm doing property and casualty insurance. Would you let me quote your house and car? Would you let them? Probably. Because you know them, you like them, you trust them as a person, and you think that they wouldn't steer you wrong, they would take good care of you. That is your goal as a real estate agent. To be that person for as many people as possible, or for as many people as it takes for you to hit your income/transaction goals. Questions? No? I just built this and I told you it was a rough draft. I already came up with another slide I wanted to add. So I'll just throw this one in there verbally for everyone. The other part of the trust is what I like to call mind share. So you have to maintain, number one, ideally, maybe number two, mind share of a real estate agent with people in order to get them to work with you. So what I mean by that is if I ask Karen, name a pop company.
Coke,
And if anyone, and it's name another one.
Pepsi,
Pretty much everyone in the country would say those same two. The people that are in your database, your met people, when they think real estate, you need to do whatever it takes, ethically, to become one of those first two, ideally the first one. NAR puts out a study every year. They just released their new one. Tammy actually emailed you guys all the slides from Family Reunion, which includes this in it. Something like, it varies every year, but something like 80 to 90% of all transactions that they did a survey on hired the first real estate agent that they talked to. So if you are not mindshare number one, your chance of getting in the business drops exponentially.
What percent was that?
It's right around 90 every year. It's someplace between like 82 and 93. It bounces around. And then if you add number two in it, it goes to about 96, 97%. Only about 3 to 4% of people every year go beyond meeting two real estate agents before they decide who they're going to hire to help them. So you need to be top of mind share, and you need to be ideally the first person they talk to. Increases your likelihood. So how do you do that? Consistent quality communication with your database. This is what we're going to talk about now. Your database, I think everyone in this room is probably using Command. Pretty much everyone in the company uses Command except for some of the larger teams. So this is kind of just a screenshot of what Command is. I'm going to hop out of my spreadsheet, or my, slideshow, and I'm going to show you guys how to add a contact, because that's going to be part of your homework from this class to do a few times. So let me hop out of this real quick, and I will jump into my Command. Trust that most of you know how to get at least this far in Command. If you do not know how to do this, raise your hand. Isaac needs to be a very immediate stop for you, okay? You have to at least be able to get logged in. The reality is you cannot get paid at this company if you do not use Command. Your transactions have to be turned into the office via Command. Now, that's the very minimal level that you can use it. I suggest that you learn it and use it at a higher level to make yourself more successful, but you gotta be able to log in, you gotta be able to do these things. So, on the left-hand side here is basically all the different pages within the CRM. I'm going to actually click on this because it'll expand it for you so you know what the separate tabs are. So we're going to contacts. And again, this is going to be very basic overview. You can get really, really in depth with this. But the first thing you need to know is how to put someone in Command. So you make it the contacts. There's a spot here that says add contacts in the top right hand corner. Contact's name. Primary email address. So your homework that I had briefly mentioned is going to be 3 points of contact, name with 3 points of contact. Phone number, ideally a cell phone number, email address, and home address are the 3 things that you're going to try and get, and those are very strategic for lots of reasons, for things further in the future. Most people say, well, who cares about addresses? No one mails anything anymore. We actually do still mail people, but Command has smart plans set up that will allow you to send real estate information to someone based off of what's happening in their neighborhood but you gotta have their address to do it. So, name, phone number, email, physical address. Now that would be enough for you to satisfy your homework. I'm going to strongly encourage you to do one additional thing, at least one additional thing. Tags. So a tag is a way that you can filter your CRM in the future. You're going to start by putting in what we are going to refer to as your top 100. These are the 100 people who you think are most likely to know, like, and trust you, essentially. So I would encourage you to make a top 100. Oops, this says tab. Top 100 tag. So if you just type top 100 and click create a tag, you can pick whatever color you want. And now you will have a top 100 tag. Everyone who you put in that has that tag, you will have the ability to filter by that in the future. So when you say, I want to talk to my top 100 people, you've already assigned who they are. You simply filter your database to show you those people, and then you go about having your conversations with them. A little bit of a quick soapbox that's outside of our class today. Tags are incredibly important and can help you be very efficient within your database. Our team has about 120 different tags that we use, and it's always growing. So get comfortable with tags. It'll help you be much more efficient, communicate with your database in the future. Start with at least your top 100 tag. This is going to be our script that we're going to talk about, practice, and that you're going to use on your top 100 people. It does not need to be this verbatim. I want you to tweak it and make it sound a little bit more natural to you. This is just the basis of what your conversation needs to be. So I'm going to call Karen. Pretend Karen's in my top 100. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Karen. It's Brooks Warner. You got a quick minute for a work call today?
Sure.
Hey, I don't know if you heard or not, but I made the decision to start my career in real estate. I have joined one of the top brokerages in the greater Lansing area, and I am being coached by 8 of the top 100 producing agents in the greater Lansing area. And I was just thinking about people who I wanted to share this information with, and you were the first person that came to mind.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I was going to ask you one other favor. I'm going to be sending out some real estate info, and I would love to be able to send it to you and get some feedback. Would that be okay?
That'd be great.
Could I get your phone number and email address? Oh, I have your phone number, sorry. Email address and mailing address?
Sure. I'll send it to you.
Boom, boom, boom. Add them to command. Now, I did not say exactly what it says there. That was my point of, like, I just made it conversational, but I knew what I needed to do. I need to let her know that I'm in real estate. I need to know that I'm at a top brokerage, which, if you didn't know, you are. Number 2 brokerage in the greater Lansing area. It's right here. And this coaching program was built by 8 of the top producing agents in the greater Lansing area. And we are mentoring you. So everything that I said is true for you guys, and it allows you to build trust with your database.
What was the 30-60-90? Can you clarify that, please?
Yeah, so this program is brand new. Myself and the other people who helped build it have been working on it for basically the last month and a half. We originally had thought it was going to be 90 days. So it'd be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, which is a Keller Williams thing that has been coached in the past. And then when we looked at the logistics of cycling through it throughout the year, we cut it back to just 30, 60 days. So there is no 90 anymore. Originally, it was said that there was going to be 90.
Okay.
But it's supposed to be your first 30 days, your 60 day, 31 through 60, 61 through 90 was the original plan.
So the first 30 we're going to focus on buy, and second we're going to sell.
Yep.
Okay.
The reason why we did that is strategic, because new agents are far more likely to run into buyers before they are sellers. For the most part, to convince a buyer to pay you because the seller does it most of the time. That's obviously not guaranteed, lawsuit, blah, 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 blah. But you don't actually typically have to ask for money from the buyer, but you gotta ask a seller to give up money. So it's easier to work with sellers after you have more experience. They are more critical and ask more questions because they're essentially stroking a check and the buyer's not. Does that make sense?
Right.
Wonderful. Let's get a little feedback on how that went for everyone. Maybe share a win that that happened, share whatever outcome you had so we can kind of talk through it. Anyone? Anything?
So I gotta lead.
You got to lead?
Ladies first, go.
I did, sorry, I jumped right in. You gotta lead.
How many phone calls do you make?
3.
3 phone calls and you got to lead. Holy shit, it's like it works if you actually just go and do it. Right? Like, it's magic.
I was able to make 2 phone calls, 2 appointments. We got a guy here, excuse me, swallowed water wrong, in Langsburg, and a young man that I've known a long time. He actually does handyman work. He's a licensed contractor. Didn't know that about him. He said, look, he said, I know lots of people wanting to buy homes, sell homes. I'll send them your name. He said, my fiance and I also want to get into buying some rehabs. Would love to do that and have you as my agent, Kevin. And also he said that if you know anybody who needs handyman work done on their listings, let me know.
A good handyman is like gold
Yes.
in the real estate world. Undoubtedly, things are going to come up that have to be fixed to get a real estate transaction to closing. Fact, it happens fairly often. And one of the biggest headaches, in my personal experience and hundreds of agents I talk to, is a dependable handyman that will actually come and do the work.
Yeah,
When they say.
he said he would do it.
When he says he's going to do it for a fair price, like,
And
it's,
then, well, it's amazing because he said not only that, but again, he's looking for rehabs.
yeah.
And then he also mentioned, I didn't finish this last thing. He also said he was getting ready to look for a home. So,
Nice.
Oh my god.
and then
Trifecta.
I called my cousin Roxanne Andrews, who does bakery. She does gluten-free bakery.
Yeah.
And she goes, my husband and I want to sell our home. Come see me on that. They're in Bath, and then they also want to look for a new home.
Nice.
Oh, that's
That
that's
is
like-
productive.
that's
And
like-
that was the one I just hung up the phone with.
Right, so that's like 6+ potential pieces of business in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah. I swear to you, it's what happened.
Yeah.
And then she says, then what took so long was she was talking about my mom who passed away, and I love your mom, my Aunt Bonnie, and miss her so much. And she kept going on, and I just couldn't hang up on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she told me she loved me too.
Aw.
So I said, that's why I said, I love you too, Roxanne.
So this thing, so he spent 15 minutes on the phone and got, sounds like around 6 potential
Yeah.
pieces of business. You made, you say 3 phone calls and got 1 lead. You know that 70% of real estate agents did not close a transaction in 2024? NAR statistic. 70% closed 0 transactions. And if you do the work, it takes 15 minutes to find a piece of business.
Can I just say one last thing? This is, again, not bragging about me. You bring a great point. Because I come from the not only being in radio and on the air and all that, but come from sales too. And 80% of the people, 20% of the people do 80% of the sales, right?
Yep,
80-20
100%.
rule.
Yep.
So I was talking with Chuck Pabst also, just to prove a point. Called my niece, no, brother Ron, told him, he said, well, you know, Ashley's looking to sell her home, his daughter. And so, actually, if you guys know anybody looking for a home in Bath, I've got a listing at 4:30 today.
Nice. Look at
So
you.
Mead Creek Road
I mean,
for $299,000.
awesome.
Lord, you
So,
need to teach this class.
Yeah.
No.
So the practice, it makes you comfortable having the conversations, but the reality is you just gotta do it. If you go through the actions, business is there for you to find and work.
Can I ask you another question? Like our phones, is there a software within maybe the CRM or something where if you have your phone numbers there, that you can send out texts to people?
Yeah, so there's lots of options for that. The CRM has 2 options built into it. Twilio is the most common one. That's the one that we use. Twilio. That's the one that we use on our team. It does come from a local area code, but it will not come from your phone number. Pretty much any mass texting from your personal phone number is not really allowed. The cell phone carriers don't like that. There are a couple workarounds. If you have a newer Android phone, they actually, and I don't, my business partner John does, which is how I know about it. They actually have the option to do the same text to multiple people inside of it now. And it shows up looking, it basically is like a BCC email, but it's a BCC text. iPhones, which is what I use, don't have that built into them, but they have an app called Reach, which allows you to do that.
Can we also manipulate our own texts that go out?
For what?
Well,
With Twilio?
Twilio, yeah, if you
Yeah,
write your own
you're-
text and then they can, just until you come to a meeting of the minds of what script you want to go out.
Yeah, you can write whatever text you want.
Okay, cool.
Like just like if I was gonna send you a text message, I can type it out and then I just pick the 20 people I want to go to or the 200 people I want it to go to, and I hit send, and it will text you all the exact same thing.
And one thing I learned about
And it's
the
got a merge field in it, so it will actually use the contact's name.
one thing I learned about the iPhone, you go through your list and you can actually take that list and email it to yourself.
Yeah.
And go through and like I got people in Arkansas, pull all those out and just have people in Michigan.
Yep. So yeah, iPhone has, I think Android has lists too that
Yeah.
you can build. Yeah, lots of options there. Okay. Let's see, what do we got next? Oh, this is the one I was updating. This is what our thank you card looks like for my team. But you had mentioned thank you cards. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so people really still like getting mail. They don't want bills. But when they get a personal note, it means a ton to people. So in addition to calling your top 100 and getting them all in your database, I strongly encourage that you get, like, don't go pay to have them printed. Just use a cheap generic thank you card. Write some short 2-sentence heartfelt message inside of it. Thanks for taking my phone call. Don't know if you heard about my real estate career. Love to catch up. Whatever. Thank you. Your name. 2 business cards. Put it in the mail. It will have quite an impact on the people that you know.
On those mailings I'm sorry for occupying so much time here, but on the mailings you send out, do you put the QR codes on there too?
So our team uses QR codes for an absurd amount of things. This one here is a referral form. I had to look at what it said. So if you were to, and actually it's probably working if someone wants to do it for the fun of it, you can scan that, it'll take you to a Google form where you can put in someone's info, it'll go directly into our email, and then we can reach out to them. So we have that one that we use, we have a review one, that's actually how we got over 100 5-star reviews on Google, is from that one. We have a home evaluation one, people can scan it to sign for an automatic home evaluation, so like, you can do lots of things with it. But again, it goes back to what I said at the beginning of the class, like, you can't do everything today. Like, it's just not realistic, right? So start with your bread and butter, which is gonna be your database, and then just keep building the systems, building the next, make it better tomorrow, and then in a handful of years, you'll have an amazing business.